Hello everyone, Noctem0 here, and I bring you today Helldivers Vs ALIENation. More bit or less a discussion on both the games. Personally, I'm a fan of twin stick shooters. Uh, Anything like Dead Nation, ALIENation, of course, Helldivers, definitely. All fun games, but ever since ALIENation was first announced, the one thing that went through my head was how is it going to compare to Helldivers? I mean, how will it hold up? Um, Personally, to me, I actually prefer Helldivers over ALIENation, but I still like both of them. But on the basic level, they're basically the same game, if you want to look at it that way. I mean, I have a buddy who saw me playing Helldivers, and then when he saw me playing ALIENation, he thought it was the same game. Uh, just because he didn't know too much about them. But in this case, uh, when you start breaking down the layers of what each game has, they both stand out from each other. First and foremost, that a lot of the Redditors that I've actually talked to all agree and say the same thing, that Helldivers has a sense of camaraderie, while ALIENation doesn't give you that feeling. I mean, yeah, you feel overwhelmed with some of the enemies that you face, but I mean, they're easily taken down because the weapons in ALIENation, to me, are far more superior than the weapons in Helldivers. But that's where Helldivers, to me, shines. It's because your weapons aren't always meant to mow down everybody. I mean, yeah, they're built to kill, but let's be honest here. The machine guns don't really do much shit against the really huge bugs, and Helldivers is very team oriented. I mean, look at how it plays. I mean, you have to rely on your teammates. You can't simply just one man this, and you can, and that's an option, but I don't recommend it. I mean, a two-man team I'm good with. Up to 4 people is great, but it gets too cluttered. But that's, again, where the fun is where you have to learn to coordinate with each other. The game forces you to do co-op, like couch co-op, because even if you're online, you cannot separate. You have to be a single unit to take on these hordes of bugs, cyborgs, or Illuminati, whatever the hell those things are. ALIENation doesn't have that. It has 4-player co-op, sure, but I don't feel like I'm on a team with anybody. Almost every time I jump into a match, I'm kicked out. At least when I'm playing Helldivers, whoever I jump in with, they're not going to throw away any kind of help that's given. They'll actually take you, and if you hold your own, yeah, they'll keep you for another round. But sometimes, if you're just going to be dying a lot, they'll throw you out if you're not even supporting the team. That, to me, kind of screams volumes on how good Helldivers is in terms of its co-op play. Because not a lot of games really rely on the other guy sometimes. I mean, a lot of co-op games now, it's hard to really want to team up with somebody. Like, even Gears of War. Yeah, you can split off in diverging paths, but you always relied on your partner to help you up if you were ever downed or something. That's what was always fun. Halo, if your partner was killed off, you would want to hold off and try and get away from the enemies as best you could, just so you had your partner back. I mean, it's that sense of co-op that, to me, drives these games. ALIENation, like I said, gameplay's fun. It's pretty solid. They have a good upgrade system, weapon system that Helldivers has as well. I mean, Helldivers' weapon system is very reliant on picking up the samples. They beat you to the bone, honestly, though, in Helldivers. They're overly generous in ALIENation. I'm not complaining about that, but I mean, when it came to a challenge, I didn't feel challenged playing ALIENation. ALIENation has these cool upgrades that you can see here, but to me, it didn't provide the challenge that I thought I needed to be able to play this. I mean, it's fun, but not challenging. Just giving you guys a bit of a look. I mean, I'm sure by now a lot of you have already played this, but when it comes to both games, I would have to say that Helldivers to me is the one that kind of takes it. The odds are stacked against you immensely in Helldivers, where Alienation, I mean, I've even been playing it on a hardcore difficulty, and I don't feel like it's that difficult. Like, yes, it got tough at times, but I didn't get killed. Helldivers, I mean, you have to be careful with everything. Your own weapons can kill you on top of everything else on the planet that you're on. I feel like Helldivers has more control of your character as well. I haven't figured out how to customize my character in Alienation as opposed to Helldivers. I mean, I'm still looking at other characters, other players, and their armor's decked out in different ways, and I don't know how they're doing that. I mean, I could just not be playing it as long as them or something. I don't know. But Helldivers, there's a lot of rewards, a lot of fun things about this game, and so much to unlock. I mean, and the cool thing is that it's never the same game twice. You're always stuck in these different situations, and the game concludes any which way with either the forces of Super Earth winning or ultimately losing. And I think we've lost twice so far from what I've seen, maybe 3 times. But I like that the developers are still adding so much content to Helldivers, and I'm hoping, and I'm pretty sure they are, making a second one, which will be 10 times better, and I hope they don't change too much. Like, I want them to add more, but let's not change where it's at right now. Like, leave the co-op the way it is, because in all honesty, it just works. I mean, even with coordinating with other friends, I've had friends who've not played this, and when I get them into it, at first they don't like it, but then they realize how well the game plays that they want to play it more. And that, to me, it adds so much more to Helldivers than what any other game I've played. The other things about Helldivers, though, is that it doesn't really have too much of a story. I love it, but it lacks. I mean, you got the basic story, like even the introduction is Starship Troopers based. I mean, you can look at that and call it any which way. Alienation, honestly, they beat you over the head with the story at the intro, and then there's the in-between stuff in the loading. But at least there's more of a story. You just don't connect very well with the characters because they're the generic scientist, the person who feeds you the information. You know, it's nothing to write home about, but at least they tried with that. I don't know. To me, I guess for Helldivers, it works because you don't really care about the story. You're just the grunt out there fighting to save your home world. Honestly, it was kind of like how Starship Troopers had the self-contained stories with just some of the characters. I mean, this I feel more immersed in this, but despite the fact that I don't have as many like, how do I put it, like the connections with the other characters. Well, there are anyway. I'm trying to make sense of this. I know I must sound like an idiot, but I think in the end, when it comes between the two games, Helldivers just takes it a bit better. I've talked to a number of friends who actually got Alienation and didn't even know Helldivers existed, and they haven't even bothered with Helldivers. And then I try to explain to them that Helldivers to me is the definitive game to get. It beats Alienation by a lot, and but I'm not trying to shit on Alienation either. I just haven't found a lot of Alienation to like. I did get it, and I still play Helldivers a hell of a lot more. I just kind of expected the same experience, but in the end, I felt like it was a little bit more watered down. The gameplay could be a bit better. But anyway, just please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this little segment. I will have a few more, and I would like to hear back from you guys. So please leave your comments below. Hit that like button. Take care. Shit. Let the explosion kill it. John, can you get behind it?
I can, but distract them.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Thank you.
I summoned the turret, so stay out of its way.
No. Get behind the turret.
Yeah, we'll run this way. I summoned mine too.